After the king of snake season broke up one of the most iconic duos of all time, we have finally had our first real trio shakeup, and I wanted to make a video to inform all of you guys on all of the new confirmed trios we have, as well as a bunch of new rumors that we have gotten as well. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We are trying to hit 70k by the end of the month. We are less than 2,000 subs away from that, so if you're new, please just subscribe and turn on notifications. Use code Kdog in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Follow me on my Twitter, Kdog, to keep up to date with everything to do with Fortnite competitive. Without further ado though, let's get straight into today's video. All right, let's start off with the man that just got dropped, unfortunately, and who is Pollo's new trio actually going to be? Now, this one is just a rumor that I've been hearing recently, but I feel like this trio will at least try out together, and it is Pollo x Iamzo x Acorn. Now, if you guys have been watching any of the duo cash cups recently, you guys would know that Acorn recently picked up Iamzo to be his new duo and like the cold replacement. And I said multiple times, I think that was a great idea from him. Iamzo is one of the most underrated fighters in the game, an insane player who should be an FNCS winner. And I would honestly really like the pickup from Pollo here if they did end up doing that. I also want to go over the ceiling of every single trio I'm going to be going over. I think this trio has a top 5 ceiling in grand finals, Acorn being arguably the best IGL in all of NA, and then pairing him up with Iamzo and Pollo, who are amazing fraggers, and Pollo who also knows how to play a support role, which is also pretty huge in trios. And I'm not gonna lie, we really haven't seen anybody be able to stop Peterbot and Pollo for the last couple of months now. So how like crazy of a story would it be if Peterbot ended up dropping Pollo and then Pollo was actually the person to end Peterbot's run? But that would like continue Pollo's run at that point. But a lot of people do think that Peterbot is the unstoppable run right now, so we might be seeing a Pollo redemption arc soon. You know what, screw it, I'm changing my ceiling from this team from a top 5 to a top 3 and even a win potential there. I really want to see this trio at least try out with each other. All right, let's move on to the first confirmed EU trio, and I think so far the best trio I've seen like officially confirmed that they are going to be playing with each other for next year on EU, and that is the trio of Vico, Chap, and Flixie. Now, obviously, Vico and Flixie are the current reigning EU FNCS Grand Finals winners, and then Chap is the back-to-back second place in Grand Finals player, and I just think the pure fighting ability on this team alone is probably one of the best fighting trios in the whole world. You could make a real argument that this team is a better fighting team than Peterbot, Booga, and Cold. I don't know if I'm ready to say all that quite yet. I'm just saying that the argument is there. The ceiling for this trio is no doubt a top 1 in grands, being able to win a grand finals. This is one of the best teams we've seen so far, and it's looking like they are going to stick it out until tournaments start next year, and I am really excited to see what this trio can perform going forwards. Let's move on to someone that's been a little bit suspicious about their whole trio situation so far. We only have like a little bit of hints here and there from him, but that is actually Clix's new trio, and the first players he is going to be trying out is going to be Bolts and Rapid. I have a couple different trio options that Clix could potentially be playing with later on in today's video, but the only one that he has really talked about himself so far is he said he is at least going to be trying out with Bolts and Rapid. Now, Bolts is coming off a 6th place in FNCS LAN. Rapid is coming off a 2nd place in FNCS Grand Finals. A lot of the more like mainstream Fortnite people don't really know a lot about these players. Once you see these guys start playing with Clix, you will see why they are some of the most underrated players in the whole world. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see Clix fully sticking with this team all the way into next year. I think someone that I mentioned a little bit later on in the video, if Clix is able to like fully cook something up with this, then I think that will end up being his trio. But so far, Bolts and Rapid are the only teammates he has really announced so far. I think their ceiling right now is like a top 7 in grand finals. This is just such a weird combinations of players that I would have to see how they really like play a tournament first before I'm really able to like make a fair projection for them. Let me know what you guys think about this trio though in the comment section down below. Let's move back to EU now though and talk about the other confirmed trio we have, and one of the most overpowered, and also this is one of the most surprising trios as well, of Swizzy, Vania, and Mustache. Now, I think the real shock factor here came from a lot of of people that Swizzy and Vania decided to play with Mustache over Malabuka, but Swizzy is one of the best players in the world. He literally came from Asia and has just been dominating EU ever since he got there. They would have done insane at LAN if him and Vania were able to play together. And I feel like Mustache is the more underrated player on his duo when he was playing with Malabuka. So hopefully people will really get to see how good Mustache actually is now that he is going to be playing on a trio that I have a ceiling of getting a first place in grand finals. This next one I've already talked about a lot over the last couple of days, so I'm not going to talk about them too much, but it is the trio of Peterbot, Cold, and Booga. Now this trio on paper looks absolutely insane. You're getting Booga, who is a arguably top 3 player of all time, Peterbot, who's arguably a top 3 player of all time, and Cold, who is one of the best fraggers in the world, all on the same team at the exact same time, especially because Booga and Cold are both proven to be like insane trios players, and Peterbot has literally just been good in like every single mode recently. There is definitely going to be some kinks that this team is going to have to adjust during their first couple of scrims that they do play together, but if this team is going to be full grinding and locked in, and at this point in Peterbot's career, like I said before, any team that he is on, their ceiling has to be a win in FNCS Grand Finals. I think this is the favorites going into next year, and I think if there was like a power rankings of trios like for both NA and globally, they would no doubt be the undisputed #1 team as of right now. All right, now let me talk about one that I can't even believe I actually have to address, but I know a lot of kids probably think that this trio is going to be real, and it pretty much just came from a Benji Fishy tweet where he said Mongrel x Mr. Savage x Benji Fishy for trios for 2025. And let me just say right now, there is no way Benji is going to give up what he is doing in his Valorant career right now to come back for the potential to not even make a grand finals. I think this would be a fun team to see if Fortnite maybe added like trio cash cups during OG season though. It has been over a year now since we saw Benji really like grind Fortnite, and I know Mongrel literally took that long break and then came back and they were still able to make grands, and they had the potential to be able to make LAN as well, but trios is just so different. And I think if Mongrel and Mr. Savage want to have a successful 2025, they need to pick up somebody that is going to be a insane fragger. I've already thrown around the name like Marius a couple of different times, and I would like to see them at least try out with Marius, but I think this team really needs to have like Mongrel learn how to tarp more, and then let Mr. Savage and whatever insane fragger they pick up go for more of the refreshes, with Mr. Savage mainly IGLing though too. This team is just in a really like sticky situation right now because already a lot of EU players don't want to be on stream, and I don't think they really have like the real respect that they should be getting from like the really good EU players also. So I don't know who this team is going to end up picking up. I hope that they're able to find like some really underrated like super good fighter that they can just like mold into being a good player. I think if Mr. Savage wanted to leave Mongrel, he could find a lot of really good trio options, but I just don't see that happening at this point in Mr. Savage's career. He seems really locked in playing with Mongrel, and I think he really does want to be able to qualify to a LAN with him as well. So best of luck to them for the next year. Maybe comment down below some players you guys would want to see Mongrel and Mr. Savage pick up. I'm very curious to hear your guys' opinion on this one in the comment section down below. All right, let's move on to Clix's old duo now of Vino, and there is a couple of different options on who Vino can actually play with. It looks like as of right now though, he's basically confirming that he is at least going to be playing with Queasy, and they are currently trying to find their third. I think there is only 2 possible options for their third, one of them being on EU and the other one being on NA. Let's start off with who I think could be their third on if they decide to stick on EU, and I think that is no doubt going to be Thomas HD. Queasy and Thomas HD are coming off of having a chance to almost win LAN, and if this trio forms, I no doubt think they could be able to win an FNCS. I think their ceiling is definitely an FNCS win. This would be the ultimate high ground team. Literally almost any team Queasy is on can just be known as the high ground team. But in one of Vino's tweets, he also said that he is willing to go down to NA and play as well, and I think Queasy is going to be down to do that also and move to NA with Vino. And I think if that happens, the trio that is going to form is Clix, Vino, and Queasy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if Clix is able to find his way onto a trio with Vino and Queasy, the expectations for him would be higher than ever. He is literally playing with arguably the greatest IGL of all time. Vino would be able to go back to a full fragging role, and then Clix could play like a support player slash a fragger as well. If this team ends up forming and they never win an FNCS in 2025, then I think Clix's chances of being able to win FNCS are basically over at that point. I don't know how realistic this trio actually is. I've seen Vino talk to Clicks multiple times on stream, saying he is willing to come back to NA if they're able to cook something up for trios. I just don't really know if Queasy is going to want to play on stream, so we might see a reunion of Clicks and Vino. It's just really hard to say right now whether or not Queasy would want to play with Clicks in the first place, and also if he would even want to stream if he were to play with him. I think the more realistic and the option that is most likely going to happen is Vino, Queasy, and Thomas HD, and I think that would be an insane trio, but simply for the content, I would love to see Queasy, Vino, and Clicks. Alright, one of the last ones that I want to go over is a team that I have just realized they have been playing together so much that I think they are going to end up playing together for trios, and that is actually Cooper, Miro, and I'm not sure who the third is going to be yet, but I've just seen a lot of people get hyped for trios Miro again, because obviously that was like the start of his prime, the start of like the real dominant run that Miro really went on to solidify himself as the greatest Fortnite player of all time. And if you have seen any of the duo cash cups recently, Miro has actually been playing with the person he won an FNCS global championship with in Cooper. I think these guys are going to end up playing trios together. Who their third is going to be is kind of left up in the air right now. We could see someone maybe like Ritual, we could maybe see someone like Muzz. It just really depends on if Miro or Cooper want to take over as that IGL role, or if they just want to both be fraggers while they get a set IGL. Let me know who you guys think that team should pick up in the comment section down below. Other than that though, that is pretty much all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and turn on notifications. Use code Kdog in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says you'll enjoy one of these two videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitter at Kdog to keep up to date with everything to do with Fortnite competitive. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.